What's up, man? Welcome back to another episode. I don't even know what we're gonna call these, man. Honestly, we're just gonna get right into it. Believing in yourself is not optional, it's the foundation. It is the core software update before anything else runs. Because if you don't believe that you can evolve, that you can adapt, that you can shift, then everything you touch will be built on hesitation and fear. And obviously, that's not what we want in life. So self-belief is truly like the foundation. It's the bedrock. Self-belief is once that's established, everything else grows on top of that. And you aren't meant to look around for approval. You're meant to build in silence, to train in solitude and lead in your lane. Your lane. Nobody else's lane, your lane. Because the external validation, the external validation is like junk food of fulfillment. It'll numb your hunger, but it doesn't actually nourish you. It never feeds your soul. And the people who are stuck in that loop, that are constantly scrolling, comparing themselves, craving likes, craving recognition, they lose the plot. Their attention is gone. Their energy is spent, and their identity is it's outsourced. And the thing about that is your energy is the most valuable thing that you have. I'm gonna say that again. Your energy is the most valuable thing that you have. It's more valuable than your time. It's more valuable than your money. It's more valuable than your talent. And if you don't learn how to guard your energy like it's sacred, then you're going to just bleed out chasing shit that does not matter. And obviously that's not going to get you to live in the reality that you dream of. Because that's the whole point of all this, right? It's to live a life that you want. You want to live a life by design and not by default. So when you are doing all that external validation, checking your phone all the time, looking, comparing yourself to others, all that shit, like, you're not even falling behind. You're just leaking your power away. Every mindless scroll, every opinion that you didn't ask for, every morning you start off by grabbing your phone instead of taking a walk or meditating or just grabbing your purpose, you know what I mean? Like, that shit isn't harmless. It's your energy getting stolen. You're giving your energy out. And like you only have so much energy within a day. So like every day you direct your attention towards distractions, you're reinforcing the same programs that are keeping you stuck. 95% of your thoughts, actions, and feelings are just loops. They're muscle memory. They're neural patterns that were carved by repetition and comfort. So a lot of the times, a lot of people aren't even lazy. They're just rehearsing an outdated script that was not written by the version of you that wants more. So like your laziness isn't you choosing to be lazy. It's you replaying the same programs that you've been playing the last however many years or however many months. So it's like you're just running on autopilot basically. But the minute that you redirect your attention inward, you can change everything. And it can be instant. Because focus is the frequency of power. And the people who learn to channel their focus without it leaking to bullshit, you become a different beast, bro. Like you live a whole different, like a completely different life. From like how you look, how you feel, to obviously your energy. Like when you train your attention, your whole nervous system realigns. Your heart beats smoother. Your brain waves start to sync better. You start to have more focus, more clarity. You stop. Sorry, I apologize. But you stop producing stress chemicals, and you start producing the chemistry of healing, resilience, creativity. Your immune system even strengthens. Your emotions stop hijacking you, and you start operating at literally a higher frequency. And this is like real biology shit. Like you can look this up. Like your body literally changes when you start focusing on yourself. And a lot of it comes down to like giving yourself a goal to work towards. Like it could be running a fucking half marathon. It could be benching 2 plates. It could be making more money, starting a side business, side hustle. Like it doesn't matter what it is, but a lot of times it's easier to focus on a goal that you set for yourself. And that'll allow you to really just be able to lock in. It'll give you an excuse to not be on your phone, to not be hanging out with people that don't need energy from you and shit like that. Because the electromagnetic field of the heart is 5,000 times stronger than the one produced from the brain. Meaning that when your energy's aligned, your whole environment changes to match it. And this is real science shit. Like you can go look all this stuff up. And It's like real life shit. So like you stop reacting, you start shaping your entire reality when you start focusing on yourself. So like when you're focused, your brain is not, it doesn't just quiet the noise, it turns the lights on. It turns on the lights for creativity, intuition, your vision. Like they don't show up when you're stuck in these loops though. Like you have to realize when you're stressed out and you're stuck in these loops of negative emotion and just external validation and shit like that, like your brain is operating in such a chaotic state that you don't have time to be creative. You don't have time to be in line with your vision. You don't have time to, or I wouldn't even say time, but you don't have the clarity to listen to your intuition and to be aligned with that stuff because your brain's all scattered in all these different ways. Like you're so, you can literally feel it when you've been constantly always checking your phone every few minutes. Like you're looking for, see if somebody texted you back. Like your brain literally is like, I imagine it to what it feels like for me when I'm like that. It's like a bunch of scribbles. You know what I mean? Like just a bunch of scribbles. And when you're like that, you can't be creative. You can't listen to your intuition. And your vision is blurry. And when I say vision, I mean like your vision of who you want to be and like, long term. Like that shit's blurry because you're stuck in these loops and your body is literally running on autopilot. So all that, like the creativity, the intuition, all that shit shows back up when you've taken your energy back from the world and just redirected it to yourself, redirected it to your mission, your purpose, your goal, whatever the fuck that you want to do with your life. Like when you shift that focus back, then things start to click. The crazy scribbles start to become more solid, slower, just waves. You know what I mean? And the version of you with the clarity, with the discipline, with the peace, the power, that shit is not a fantasy, bro. Like it's literally a frequency, kind of like what I was just air drawing. And if you can stay on that frequency long enough, that will become your new default. That operating system, the same way you have been operating on default with all the negative emotions, with all the scrolling, the external validation, the way like you don't even think about doing that shit, you can literally change your mind to be the opposite of that. If you do it long enough, if you can maintain that energy for long enough, that can become your new default. But it's not going to take a week. It's not going to take a few days of good habits. Like you're going to need to really embody that shit, feel that shit. Like you need to feel what it would feel like to live on that frequency on a daily basis. You need to feel what it would feel like to be that version of yourself that has the six pack, that can run the half mile, that benches 225, that has the partner that they want, that has the successful business, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, whatever goal that you're set on, whatever your purpose is, whatever you're focused on, you need to maintain that same energy of that person. Because if you can see it, if you can see the vision of what that person is or how that person lives, how that person feels, then that means that shit is already real. Like there's a timeline somewhere where that shit is already real, and it's up to you to maintain the internal energy, the internal frequency of that person, even if your external is not showing you who that person is. Like that's going to be the hardest part because you're going to see shit that is not aligned with how you feel. But the longer that you can maintain that energy of what you feel being stronger than what you see and not letting what the external affect your internal, you will be different. I'm telling you. Most people fall off because they don't even give their brain long enough time to become who they said they want to be. A lot of people are chasing change with the same habits that broke them. Like you can't out hustle your frequency. Like you can never outdo the operating system that you're on. That's why some people will work out for 2 or 3 weeks and then all of a sudden just fall off, right? It's because they mentally never made the shift. They are still mentally identifying as that overweight, out of shape person with a fast metabolism or slow metabolism. You understand? Whatever self-limiting beliefs that got them in the situation that they're in now is what they're still operating by. That's why people slip off. Like you can't have that. You can't have that at all. You have to change who you are. You have to change your identity up here and in here first. And then give yourself enough time of actively rehearsing that on a daily basis for it to come into fruition. So real change is not just repetition, but it's that emotional aspect of it. Because we've all probably had some type of traumatic experience that scarred us for our whole life, but it didn't happen every single day. It happened one time, but the emotion from that traumatic experience was real enough for it to carry over into our life. You know what I mean? So like it's the same thing here when you're trying to make this change. Like, yeah, you can keep repeating certain affirmations, you can keep repeating the story that you're telling yourself, but the real thing that's gonna really lock it in is the emotion. It's not just thinking about the life that you want. It's feeling like it's already yours. And like that's why some people meditate. I like to meditate, I like to visualize. Shit, bro. I'll literally sometimes I'll get on here and I will record videos like this, but I'll act like I'm getting interviewed by like fucking Luke Belmar or like Kai Cenat or like somebody, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of clout and talking to him about like my journey and shit. Or some people will pretend to get like fake calls from like good news of whatever it is they're trying to manifest. Like, oh, you know, your company just sold for X amount of money. Or like, you know what I mean? Like some people like sometimes I'll talk to myself like I'm telling somebody my autobiography and I'm talking about like, oh yeah, 2025 was the year I finally made it. You know, 2024 I experienced so much. It doesn't really matter what it is that you do, whether you talk to yourself like you're already living it, you meditate, you visualize. You just need to do something that makes you feel like that motherfucker, that makes you feel like the person that already has achieved everything that you want to achieve. And you need to do it daily. And I'm telling you, for the love of God, you just need to find something that you feel, bro. Like you need to feel it. I would start with meditation and visualization. But you can literally, it doesn't matter what it is. As long as you feel like that person, like you've probably heard of some people, they'll go to the car dealership and sit in the car even though that they know they can't afford it. Like that's an aspect of it. Some people will go and just drive around nice neighborhoods and just feel what it would feel like to be pulling up in a nice neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like you can get creative with it. But the whole point is to put yourself in the emotional state of experiencing the life that you want to live, of being that person. And it's not a far distant thing. Like when you imagine like that dream life, when you imagine that version of yourself that has their goals achieved, it's not a far thing. Like that person exists now and it's you right now and you need to feel that. So hopefully I evoke some emotion with you there, because that's the whole point of what I just said there. And a lot of people think that they need like a breakdown and change, right? A lot of people wait for somebody to die or like a near-death experience or some type of tragedy, getting broken up with, or like a trauma to really wake up. And like if that's what life throws at you, then maybe that's, you know, what you need. But you don't really need something bad to happen to make a change. All you need is really one moment of disgust with the version of you now that's playing small. One moment where you decide you're done leaking your energy, you're done looping on these negative cycles, you're done living in delay. Like it just takes that one moment. And hey, that one moment could be right now. I would love to share that one moment with you, because your mind is programmable. Your energy is a weapon, and your focus is the switch that turns it all on. So I encourage you to take your focus back, take your energy back, and make it hurt that you ever gave it away, because it's the most valuable thing that you have. I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to start doing more of these, and let me know what you liked about it, what you didn't like, and leave a comment, and have a beastie day.